So we're going to be using the fintech ecosystem. You just have Moniepoint stack and interest to share to look at this. Why this matters to you? PM role is highly competitive in the draft fintech space and in generally in the product-based companies. If you look at it, product-based company is highly competitive. Everybody's looking for great product manager, and what is happening in recent times on how we have raised the bar for PM IRA. And a company like Moniepoint is actually look for candidates combining technical skills and business skills. Do you see that? And why this matter is that you also understand what recruiter values that increase your chance to success. So these are three advantages of, for you tonight to be in this webinar. With a product manager, this is just basics. I view product manager from three lenses. I believe they do these three things. Product managers are responsible for the strategy, execution, and delivery. As I used to tell candidates whenever I'm interviewing, I see you as the CEO of the product, right? You are the CEO, internal CEO of an organization, because you need to have that sense, understanding, and that mindset. If you don't have that mindset, you cannot be a good product manager. They understand customers' needs in local and sometimes undeserved markets. So majorly, product managers must understand what the customers are. You must answer the questions people are asking as a product manager. It shouldn't be answered people are not asking or customers are not asking. So collaborations, driving product strategy by collaborating with engineering, designs, and business teams. So these are three things I view product manager should be. Now, what are the top qualities recruiters look for in a product manager? The first thing first is the analytical skills. Analytical skills, this is have to do with ability to understand data and interpret metrics. Because many people put this on their resume, but they cannot communicate. It is not about what is on your resume or what is not on your resume. It is a matter of how you communicate it during interviews. Are you able to explain it? Because metrics give you a sense of what is happening with that product, how that product is performing in the market, what gaps exist from where we want to be and where we are. So we need to, that analytical skills must be there. Understanding data, numbers, and these are qualities you should not just put on your CV, but you should be able to communicate, convincingly when you are having interviews. And user-centric mindset is very, very important. I know that most times, product manager will say that when you want to build a startup, the first thing they want to achieve is what we call, they say MVP, minimum viable product. But that is not how a good product manager thinks, or an exceptional product manager thinks. A exceptional manager think beyond viable product. They start thinking MLP, which is minimum lovable products. That means that you're not just producing a product or you're just building a product to be functional alone, but a product that customer will appreciate. Immediately is going to the market. So that is where the user-centric mindset comes in. If you don't have that user-centric mindset, you don't put yourself in the shoes of a customer or who want to use your service, you might not be considered as a good product manager. 3, technical fluency. You should be able to, I am a recruiter. I understand everything that have to do with technology jargons because I am in the tech space. And because of that, when I start talking to people, layman's on the street, they think I'm an engineer, I'm a software engineer or whatever, but I don't code that, but I understand everything that have to do with backend, front-end APIs and everything. That shows your technical fluency. You should know what everybody is doing in the space. You should know who is contributing. You should know who is giving you problem. You know who needs to solve a problem. When there's an issue, you know who to run to. So that's where the technical fluency comes in. And that is why sometimes you get rejected in some role, not because you are not good, but because you don't have the understanding of the environment you want to transition to. So it's always difficult sometimes because you have been in telecom all your life, or you've been doing e-commerce. Okay.
Yeah, he's back up. We can see it now. Yeah.
Thanks for notifying me. I think we are here.
Yeah, you had already talked about user-centric.
We are here.
About you were closing out technical fluency.
Yes, technical fluency. Yeah, that's the way. So talking about comfortable. We have to be comfortable. So I was actually like to also explain something why sometimes you get rejected for some role, or not because you are not a good product manager, because probably you don't understand the jargons or terminologies or the environment for the new role you are going to. And some business leader, hiring manager don't want such person to hold by hand. They just want somebody that will plug and play. So sometimes you get rejected, not necessarily because you are not good. So what I would advise is that any environment you want to transition into, try and understand what is going on there and know how things work there, even though you have not started working there. There's a way you can talk. Like somebody would think that you've been in fintech all your life, whereas you just talk to people, or you know people that in that space, or they just coach you one way or the other. So business and market acumen, this is very non-negotiable. So for you to grow in any, from product manager to senior product to product lead to become business leader and all that, you must be interested in the business and market and the market space. You must have that, know how the product generates revenue and how you can sustain growth. If this is missing, you, even if you are employing a company, you just realize that you just remain in one position for a long time. So this is what we're also looking for. What you are building, what market impact is it making? We want to know that. What is the business impact? What are the tractions and all those things? So industry PMs aligns with financial inclusion goals. So that's that. And finally, communication and leadership, because everything is good. Every other thing I've mentioned are amazing, but if you are not able to communicate, if you're not able to articulate your visions and influence stakeholders that will work with you, both external and internally, you cannot be a good PM. So we are going to be looking at all these things when we are interviewing you. Even though we are not asking that question, we want to see it in your communication. And I used to tell people the most important questions in an interview is, can we meet you? Yes, that's the most important question. In that question, I can deduce many of these things I've mentioned. If you have it, the way you communicate, I can know if you're analytical. I can know if you are user-centric. I can know your technical fluency. All these things I mentioned in how you introduce yourself to me. So that is why you don't just say, my name is this, I graduated from this thing, I have over 5 years. That's not how to do introduction and interview. You have an avenue to sell yourself and to let a recruiter or the interviewer knows what you are capable of. So what about our skills recruiters value? Product lifecycle management, ideation, true launching, and iteration, roadmap creation. These are hard skills, tools that you use. Look at technical constraints. You must also understand the industry, the regulation, the laws that guide your operation. If you are to go to maybe work for Uber or work for Chowdeck or work for Bolt, you need to understand how they deal with regulations, logistics. If you are to go to fintech, you need to know how CBN regulation works. All these things, you don't need to know everything, but you need to have ideas, because these are what you have to be facing day to day, payment education and all those things. So if it's for fintech, that's why you're having that example there. So technical constraints, local, another why the word local is also important, because I will try to give an example now. Moniepoint, for instance, we don't like to hire product managers from outside Nigeria because our product base is largely in Nigeria. Even though we have some people work outside Nigeria, yes, but they have roots in Nigeria and Nigerians, right? We can't just go and say, we want to go hire from Estonia or from Russia, and that is not Nigeria, so it doesn't work for us. Why? Because of that local context we want to have. We want somebody, because it is easier to work on a product that you understand or you use, so you can put yourself in the shoes of your customer. So soft skills that make you stand out: adaptability in a fast-moving market, right? Problem solving with limited resources, negotiation and stakeholder management, storytelling, and influence. So resilience. Those soft skills are some of these things. It is not what you learn per se, it is what you build from yourself by yourself, based on the fact that your drive to be better or to improve as an individual. So it's like a behavioral traits, yes, that allow you to strive, from junior PM to senior PM and all those kind of things. So this are soft skills that stand you out. It's very important. It's not just any soft skills, because negotiation, you push back, you drag people, you look for People that have to buy into what you are trying to do and all that. Because there are two things about building products. So many times, not everybody have the opportunity to build product from 0 to 1, but they build features and all that. And when you are coming to an organization that is established, like just be doing features, adding to existing products, making the product become better and all that. So in doing that, you need all this negotiation, stakeholder management, because a lot of pushback, a lot of people that will not believe what you're saying. Okay, so an ability to set that vision is very important. So these soft skills you are seeing here are not just random soft skill pick everywhere. There are many soft skills anybody can develop. But these 5 critical soft skills are very important for program managers. And your ability to adapt, because we are especially in the fintech space, dynamism is very. I was telling a candidate today. I said the program manager I hired 5 years, 3 years ago, I cannot hire the same program manager in Moniepoint today. Things have changed, vision have changed, our direction have changed. We have expanded our scope and a lot of things like that. Sometimes resources might not be there. You must also know how to what to be your trade-off and all those things. So case study, experience, let's just use that Moniepoint, for instance. Moniepoint prefer people with experience in merchant onboarding, mobile money, fintech. Yes. So that is one of the things about us. We like people to have some sort of fintech or banking experience, because that is the space where we operate. And sometimes people get a lot of rejection. They don't know why. We'll not come and say that we are discriminating we don't want to hire you because of where you're coming from. But there are some things that you will not see in job description, So you just have to understand that, okay, the people that are moving in this company, look at the trade, look at where they are coming from, how they are moving. Oh, okay, this is what they like to hire from this. Maybe I should even go and work in this company, but it's a desired organization. So you need to understand how things work. Demonstrated impact. We like to see people that have demonstrated impact, and these are you put impact on your CV. Increase market penetration by 50%. So you put, numbers, figures, data. Not that you just say, I demonstrated impact where I was working here. I work with over 5 people. Yes, we want to see this figure. We want to see this number. We want to see how what you did, what is that impact. And we want to see metrics, decision you make. Oh, because of this number, because of this footfall that reduced over time, we're able to do this, do that. And as a junior or anybody working in any organization in program like that, you need to start being consciously interested in decisions that are being made and understanding why they are being made. It is not just about making decisions. You have to be interested in understanding why the decisions are made, because the why is an answer to a problem or a scenario or an event. So we are going to be asking you, why did you do what you did? Because we want to know if you are building with understanding, you are just not a member of a team, right? So for a senior level product manager, you should be able to answer the question of why in every year when you're talking about your experience and what you have done. So because we have to know why you're making that decision, and that is how we know if you're going to add value to the team or not. For instance, you look at experience with SaaS, APIs, fintech, passion for solving local problems with ease, speed, and trust. You're collaborating with engineering and design. So you need to understand what all these organizations value and position yourself in that way. Industries, experience in financial service products, understand your legal and compliance, because this organization could be considered as one of the oldest fintech in terms of digital technology, regulatory and compliance, in terms of partnership with government and other states. So ability to scale solutions for millions of users. Now, the Nigerian Tech PM resume, optimizing your professional profile to capture the attention of high growth fintech recruiter. Yes, many of the things you have seen now is what I've said earlier. These are things we want to see on your resume. Highlight measurable achievements. Do you understand? And put examples. Mention relevant tools and tech stacks. If you are technical enough, some people transition from software engineering to product. And necessarily for you to be considered a technical PM does not mean that you must be a software engineer before. You don't necessarily have to be a software engineer, but you understand the technicality that involves in terms of building products from scratch. So showcase understanding of the Nigerian market and fintech challenges. Yes. So This local context is very, very important. You must understand the market, understand the system, understand the environment. What are the challenges there? These are things we want to see. And your soft skills, right? So you must have all these things, write a CV with this impacts and metrics and everything you have achieved. Then preparing for interview, I just added this, we want you to also have understanding of product sense. That is designing solution for real problem. Some people will come to interview and tell you that when I joined this company, I did this for them, I do this, I do that. Some of them, most times, those products don't go live. It's a waste of time because anything you are designing should be that you are solving a problem that existed. Because if there's no problem, you beg people to come and use your products. And that is the mindset you also have for business. You don't start a business and beg customer. You look at customers, you look at the gaps in the environment, and you build this product for it. And you start a business that solves that problem. So, and doing that, it gives your products value, right? So, two analytical questions. These are things you also need to prepare for in interview. Questions on metric. You cannot come for interviews in a company without answering metric question, right? It's very, very important. And that's what we want to know. We want to know growth strategy, metrics, trade-offs, and everything. We want to see how you are thinking. Do you understand? If you say, we did this one and we improve revenue from this to this, you want to know how did it happen? You must be able to explain how this thing happened because that's when you're actually doing the job, right? For every job you are going to apply for, the secret to the interview is already in the JD. So we need to always understand the JD very well. But there are some jobs that you don't even have business to apply for. You might have 6 years and they say they are looking for 6 years, but you look at what they are saying. Because 6 years of experience and 6 years of experience are not the same. Somebody with 6 years of experience, another person with 6 years of experience might not be the same. Because in that 6 years of experience, they are saying, for instance, there's a job advert on our career page for senior PM. We are looking for someone with 8 years of experience. That's what we say, 8 years plus. When we put 8 years plus, we are just saying what scenario 8 years. That's what it means. And in that 8 years, we want someone that have done end-to-end product development within for 5 years. So what that means is that if you have not done 0 to 1, there's every chances that you will fail interview because questions they'll be asking you are questions that you'll be able to answer if you have, handle such difficulties of building product from scratch, from idea to, become a digital product. That's it. So always understand the job description and prepare you better for the interview and give you some chances, give you some clarity and understanding of what they'll be asking you, right? So when you are not doing something, anything, all you do is just add features, and some of those features you are not even looking at the significant impact it's having on the product, your customer behavior and everything, So for instance, maybe you have an application that takes people come and loan money, and you realize that at the first 3 months people launch, a lot of people come, and after that 3 months, people withdraw. As a product manager, you have to know what happened. To identify what happened, you have to now explain what you did, then now bring and measure the changes that happen after, if it's a positive or negative change. So we want to with every decision you're making, we want you to be able to explain why you're making that decision and how that the impact you're making at the end of the day. And questions like behavioral questions will also be asking teamwork, conflict resolution, and leadership. Yes, these are things that you also need to prepare for. And look, if you're in Nigeria, you must understand local and ground tips, like the regulation in that space. Is either logistics, is it fintech, is it banking? As a product manager, understand the market constraint, the cultural or market specific constraint that might exist there and all that. So that's how you prepare for your interview. So bonus that I added, how to get noticed as a PM. Young PM, mid-level PM, you start networking, just like the community you find yourself now. It's a way to network with the Java fintech community, just like PIP, engaging. Some people get their job through this platform, the job they are doing now. So that's how it's good. Give you that visibility. Engage in product challenges, hackathons, or local forums. Create portfolios. Yes, you should, as a product manager, you should have a portfolio, you know, a linked portfolio. Yes, many product managers don't have it. Many product design has that because their job is all about visibility. But for product managers, I've seen quite a number that has portfolio, and it's also important to have a portfolio and follow Syntech company or any company you would like to and understand their product deeply. Even before you enter, understand their product deeply. It's gonna help you well. So take away from what I've been saying, recruiters look for balance of technical fluency, business acumen, and people skills. Yeah, that's the summary of everything I've said. Technical fluency, business acumen, and people skills is very, very important. Tailor your resume and interviews. Example to impact and metrics. Okay, so when you're going for interview, you're prepared to make sure that what they communicate impact, they show metrics, and your resume should also carry that. And then understand the local markets as well. Fintech content, show awareness of the challenge. You understand why this is doing, why Paystack is doing what they are doing, why the new fintechs we have that the bank are building now. Rover is doing what they're doing, Hydrogen is doing what they're doing. Try and understand that if that's the industry you found yourself. Thank you. Now,
Oh,
Q&A here in case
thank you very much. People are already typing questions in there.
Oh, I can't see it. Wait until I stop sharing my screen.
Yeah. I actually wanted you to finish before we read the questions out. I like the fact that you hammered on being able to explain what it is you've done as a 0 to 1 PM. I still remember the question you asked me the first time you interviewed me. After he said I should introduce myself, the question you asked me was, tell me about a time you built a product from scratch. I started thinking, okay, I worked in like 2 or 3 companies. God, I mean, which one do I talk about now at this point? I would later realize that he just wanted to see how strong my research is relative to how much I drive results. And he wanted to test all of these things that you listed, right? So thank you so much for taking us through everything today. I would like to start with I'll read one question here, then we'll call people that raise up their hand. So if you have any question, you can raise up your hand and I will call you in a bit. Swati Dubey has the question, is understanding the Nigerian market always a must? What if the candidate is willing to understand and learn on the job? Is that something you're open to as a technical recruiter?
Yeah, so when you have roles like associate PM, yeah, those things can be overlooked, right? But when you apply, you're applying for roles with 5 years plus experience, 6 years plus experience, and something expecting from you. Some business leaders, some hiring but they just want to plug and play, right? Even if there are lots you need to learn on the job. It's not now understanding the market we operate in. You don't want to start learning on the job at that level, right? So that is why I was saying that every job advertisement or job description give you a pointer to what they're looking for and the kind of technicality or questions you'll be asked, right? From what you expect from an associate PM, a junior PM, is different from what you'll be getting from somebody with looking at 10 years plus experience. They're expecting to know so much, right? Even if you don't know a lot, you understand. And that is the reason why we still have companies looking to hire locally, because the product base, where the market is where they want the PM to come. PM are the CEOs. I used to tell you, they are the mini CEOs of that product in an organization. As a product manager, if you work for over 10 years, you should start building something for yourself and be a owner of a company, that should be your direction. So yes, the level of the road ascertain the kind of expectation and what you should know and what you are expected not to know. So that's that.
Thank you very much, Olalekan. Channel has his hand up. If you have questions, you can also raise up your hand. I would read one of the questions in the chat box, and I would call you as well. Channels can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for the teaching. I was just making a lot of screenshots so I can go back to that. So my question is, I actually want to know the missing piece in my job application. I first learned PM in a 6-month training. I did a little bit of job shadowing with a cross-border educational payments company, but I still wanted to know how products were being built. So I actually ventured into back-end engineering, where I got the opportunity to get very technical, API, building products from 0 to 1. Because I remember I was reading Moniepoint's job description, and they were like, they don't hire product managers that don't have technical experience. So that was part of the fear that made me go very technical. So now I've actually been looking forward to technical PM roles, because sometimes there is a discrimination at how many months or years before you can call yourself a junior PM. Because I know I have more months, like a year plus in back-end engineering compared to product. So I've actually been like reaching out to companies, and I'm someone that I lead with value. I study your product very deeply. I send you code emails, and I actually use like a mail tracker. I noticed that sometimes my email gets read about 6 times, different companies. But then I send follow-up. Then
Okay.
I'm just trying to like understand, because I know
what I need to do right to just get things.
Yes, because I know I have both the technical as well as the product mindset.
And product mindset. Yeah, I understand you. See, the thing is that many of us want to. I remember growing up when I was in secondary school, after finishing secondary school, the first phone I used was one Nokia phone with very small screen, and it's Java. I call it Java phone. I don't know if people can still remember Java phone. Then we have Symbian phone. Remember, are you with me? I can't see.
Yes, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Yeah, so remember Java phone, we have Symbian phone. Before we now have this Android and others. Those are the kind of phone we used to have there. And that's what I started with. So imagine me finishing school and the first phone I want to use is that BlackBerry. That's how many of us are when it has to do with job hunting. We want to go to that place that things are happening. Yes, it's good to have that ambition, but sometimes you probably just want to target companies on small scale. Just get your hands dirty, do as much you can do. Yes, you might not want to look, the pay might not be interesting. Yes, you are building portfolio, you are building steps, you are building provide. Going for money, those companies are not looking to experiment. They are looking for top people. They are looking people that will take. We want Moneyball to be in Kenya. I want it to be in South Africa. I want it to be in the UK. Go to US and all those things. So we are looking for people that will take us to that level, right? At that scale. Yes, there are sometimes some roles will say they want junior people that can learn on the job. But how many times do you see that kind of advertisement on this platform? It's not maybe for engineering, yes, because we have scale in engineering very well. So sometimes we hire some of these junior developers and all that. And we even do a hackathon for some of them to come into the system. So what am I trying to say is that you don't necessarily need to target the likes of Paystar, Moniepoint, even though you want to be a technical PM. Just you can even target banks. Build that track record. By the time you get to a level when you throw CV there, you start getting invites. You don't beg people to, they will even be approaching your LinkedIn. There are some people now that I run to them. Please, I want to talk to you. I say, I think I have an opportunity for it. And there are some people that are sending their CV to me here and I'm not looking at it. Right? So it's a gap between what I wanted and what is coming in, right? So at this point, you need to, but the small fintech company, target all those ones, do something practically, do something yourself. I say when you lead that company, you say that this thing, infrastructure is working today, I build it. This thing that is working today, I did it. I get him. So when you are talking to Moniepoint in the next 3-4 years, you are giving them record, you are showing metrics, you are showing business acumen, you are showing business impact. You are not just saying I have technical juice, because to be a product manager doesn't necessarily mean that, even to be a technical provider doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go and learn coding or become an software engineer at some point. It's not necessary. At that point, what we are looking for was different entirely. There's a kind of structure we have then that bring together technical engineering management and product management. So then we call them TPM. That was why we're doing that for some time. But things have changed. We're not doing that anymore. Separated the roles. So that's the situation.
The reason why I mentioned Moniepoint before was the fuel. Because I know that I can't be shooting at Moniepoint. You understand? Because I actually love startups, because that will even give me more opportunity to have more 0 to 1 experience. As someone that is coming from back end, I love to bring features So
Mm.
I've been reaching out to a lot of startups, probably those that are even less than 10, between 2 to 10, 11 to 50, but I'm still quite surprised. There was a
Don't
certain point I did 2 pitch decks for a particular company and still ended up getting ghosted. It was funny.
yeah.
I did 2 pitch
Do you
decks.
know
I was
that?
commended for it.
Let me
I
shock
was
you.
commended for it. It's funny.
It happens when the right jobs come, it will come. See, me, I teach people how to get job. I do CV for people. I feel I document people later for them how to get job. And me, sometimes I apply for job and get me rejected. So me that I'm teaching people, does that mean that any job I apply for like this, they will call me? So that shows that sometimes what companies that you needed at that point might not be where you are. Where they are at that point, might not meeting them at where they are. So there are many reasons why things could go either way that might not necessarily be about you per se, like maybe about your technical ability, right? So
Yeah.
the goal is to keep pushing, keep trying, keep doing that CV there, keep building something, keep learning something. Before you know it, the opportunity will come. That's
All right,
just
thank you very much. I'll keep putting myself out there and
yeah,
hopefully something clicks.
yeah.
In the meantime, so that I can take other questions as well. So I would like to go on to Deborah. Deborah has a question here. Why is a product manager who is successful in one industry always having limitations when moving to another industry? How can that PM switch successfully? Is it by building side product?
Okay, so if I get that correctly, some product manager have been successful in a particular industry and they want to migrate to
Yeah.
another. Well, it's
So
difficult.
say you've been successful in head tech, for example, or
I want to go
health
to
tech, and you want to do
you have
fintech.
become a problem. Yeah, so some people make that transition. Yes, some people may. There are some companies that they are they pay more emphasis on where you are coming from and what you've done. Okay, so because the knowledge is transferable, right? But sometimes what the business need at every point in time differs. Okay, for instance, I single-handedly hire for PM across all the business entity in Moniepoint. There are a lot of them. Toby knows there are a lot of them. So there are some business leaders that if you are not fintech, there's nothing saying fintech banking in your experience, they are not interested because they don't have time. But there are some still within Moniepoint, you have to be good. But you might not have that fintech and experience per se, but you are very good. Maybe you have worked in a product-based company. You must be very, very good, right? And you must show that impact and everything you have done and all those things. Yes, they can accommodate that to. It's just a matter of business don't want time wasting. It happens even in engineering. There are some of our payments, for instance, our payment team now. If you are trying like engineering manager now, they prefer somebody that have done something in fintech because in fintech is a very unique business, and I'm going to explain. Fintech is not just there's many businesses that when the product is live, you can go and sleep for 1 month. In fintech, you can't just go and sleep, especially when you're in payment. Because people are using that product every second.
I think that there's a problem with Olalekan's network. I'm not so sure if it's mine or his. Can we still hear him? Oh, okay. So yeah, I think the Olalekan's network is having a problem. 1 minute. Let me finish. I mean, Wala does not finish him. Yeah, let me message you on Slack. Actually. He was answering the question on domain expertise, right? And I would like to say that I have a practical experience of situations where a senior product manager came in and they didn't necessarily have fintech experience. And like you said, at Moniepoint, it is dependent on the business lead most times, right? So there are business units within the company that you apply to that particular unit and you say you want to join. Nobody would basically pass you because that particular business lead wants someone with fintech experience. And there are other business leads that would say, okay, if you do not have domain expertise in fintech and fintech handle, in what other areas are you super excellent, that you're beyond the average and mediocre individual, what other areas are you better than the best that would then augment for that fintech experience that you're lacking? Domain expertise is important, but in situations where you do not have domain expertise, you have to be able to cover up for that in being excellent in other things, basically. While we're waiting for Olalekan to come back, we can ask your questions in the chat box. There's a question here concerning fintech. Okay, every fintech company requires fintech experience, and no one wants to hire anyone that does not have one. But how will I get fintech experience without entering fintech first? One of the ways that I personally was able to get fintech experience, even though I started from headtech, was working with smaller companies, right? So I basically went from working with a company that was yet to raise seed funding, right? And to fintech as well. I basically started from working with those guys to then working with a company that had raised Series B, then to finally working at Moniepoint that was looking for senior product managers, basically. Right. So, like you said, if it is the experience that you're looking for as a way for
Are you
you
here?
oh yeah, we can hear you now. You're back. Awesome.
Yes.
I think you can go on to answer the question concerning how to network better as a product manager and how to acquire product management knowledge for the next stage that you want to be in. So if you're a mid-level product manager, what is it that you need to do to become a senior level product manager that you would consider viable for a role at Money, for example? Olalekan, you can unmute your mic. I think your mic is muted currently.
But can you see my screen? I can hear me,
Yes,
right?
yeah, perfect. Yeah.
I didn't know what happened to the network, just went off. So what I was trying to explain about I don't know where you guys stopped hearing me, but I was trying to
You were
explain
talking
that.
about domain expertise, actually, how to build or
I think,
and the uniqueness
yeah,
of business money points. Yeah.
yeah, there are many businesses that's what they want. And I was like, that domain experience, just like the person had, it's cut across many things. Even from engineering, they do the same as well. And I was just trying to explain how fintech works. I don't know if I got to that point. I said, if you have fintech product is different from any other product. You can build a logistic app and go and sleep. You can build a product on delivery app and go and rest. But fintech, it's a product that people use every second. Millions of users use every second. People are transforming. So if you don't understand that you need to wake up 2 a.m. and they call you that something is wrong, if you don't have that kind of orientation, you might struggle when you go to a fintech company. Yes, because one of the things we look out for in a product manager is that ownership mentality. You must have that ownership mentality. You know, the general syndrome in Nigeria is that it's not my father's business. If you're a PM that wants to strive and succeed and be on top of your game, it has to be your father's business. You understand? So that ownership mentality is what will keep you awake 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to solve problems, either as an engineer or as a product manager. Is that ownership mentality is what will make you to say, okay, I think we can do something different about our product. We can add these features, we can improve this, we can add these services, right? It's not until when the CEO or the business leader are coming to tell you all those things. So those are reasons why companies will like people that have experience in a particular field. But that doesn't mean that it's not possible to move from one industry to another. So it's very, very possible, especially when what you have done, where you're coming from, speak for yourself.
Thank you very much, Olalekan. We have one more hand up. That's Oni Temtope. You can go ahead and ask the question. Temtope.
Yeah, sorry, I have just two questions. I'll try to be quick. So my first question is, how does the certification work when it comes to hiring people? Why I ask that is, let's say for instance, you have like a PMP or certified Scrum Manager on your CV, as opposed to something domain that is free, like an API sec product management. So how does it work? Is that because it's free to be valued less than the original certified ones? Right. So that's
Okay.
my first one. Should I go ahead with the second one?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I wanted to ask if there's like a pipeline between product management or project management to engineering manager. So that's just my two questions. Thank you.
Okay. So the first question is about certification. So there are some industry that they are certificate driven, and there are some industry that they are experience driven. Yeah. Like there are some industry that if you want to say you are there, you are ready, you are serious, you must have some level of certification, right? You must have some level of certification, must have some all sort of things. For engineering, I think there's something called Koren. I'm not talking about software engineering, I'm talking about the Koren, all those kind of certification. For accounting, you must have ICANN, for HR, you must have CFPM, SPH, and all those things. So, but there are some experience that certificate is not the main thing. It's the experience, is what you have done, right? So it's about you must balance the two. You must not be gathering certificates and overlook your experience, because at the end of the day, when you have the certificate give you the access, what can you do for us? That's the question. What can you do? What experience do you have? What have you done before? Do you get it? So personally, I don't think we'll focus more on where certificates or where you got certificate, that is this or that. It's all about what you have done, what you have built, what you can build, the experience you have. Do you understand? So yes, certificates are also good. At least you are certifying yourself, you are trying to get yourself to some level of exposure, but most importantly, experience. Now, the second question I'll talk about product management, project management, and engineering. You talk about software engineering, right? Am I correct?
Engineering manager.
Okay, engineering management. Yeah, those words, they are they define themselves, right? They define it. Engineering management. These people could be stakeholders for you as a PM, depending on the company you work. Engineering managers manage the software guys, back end, front end, and all that. You products, you work with everybody, right? Depending on your level and position in the organization, depends on who report to you. There can be a dotted line of these people that are working with you on the projects to you, and why they report directly to EM. I'm talking about the engineer, and sometimes product designer also report to the PM and all those things, depending on organizational structure, right? And project designer, a project manager also, worked on projects and give overview on project that needs to be done. But products, when we talk about products, we are talking about the reason why the organization is, why the business is. What are we selling to the public, right? So every activities that the business engage to achieve what we want to produce, it's what the project management, going to focus on. But as a product manager, your core is the product, how this product can come to life and how this product can meet the business goal, meet the customer needs, and we can improve on this product and what we need to change and what we need to adopt. The relationship exists in this within these people you've mentioned or these offices you mentioned. So yes, and as a product manager, you must also build your stakeholder management ability. Is very, very important because you have to work with people and people of different traits and different personalities. So yeah, and different decision makers.
Thank you very much, Olalekan. There is one question that has been recurring, right? How do we network as product managers? Because usually there is recommendations, there's referrals, right? And sometimes a recommendation and a referral carries in heavier weight in the sense that it's easy to make sure that they're referring someone that is actually a fit for the role, right? As a product manager that is probably just starting, how do we network as PMs?
I want to understand that question. No. How do we
I think,
network as
how do we network as a PM? Maybe we can give more context.
Sorry, the reason why I asked that is that because for me, the network is just to connect on LinkedIn and maybe join the community on Slack. After then, what's the next?
Okay. Okay. How do we have a meaningful relationship with people that matters in the industry, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Good. This one we are now it's an example. I'm sure that if you have any challenge in PM or whatever now, you can always run to Toby or any of the senior PM in this place.
Yeah.
So
The community is
having
always.
is that what?
I said, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can always reach out on the community, and I mean, would always,
Yeah.
everybody's always glad
Having
to
a,
know.
being
Yes.
part of a functioning community is very, very important. Yes, I know where it's also coming from. I have a lot of people that they send me connection on LinkedIn, like, oh, they, this generic word, oh, I like what you're doing amazing where you have, I like to connect with you. And me, I know that the reason why this person is connecting is because person wants a job, right? So, and that was it, right? Just said that, and probably I look at the profile, oh, this person is not what I'm looking for, and the conversation ends there. So, if you are intentional about connecting with people, you don't just go to ask. You don't approach them to get from them, right? You approach them from the standpoint of you also want to add value, right? So you want to build meaningful relationship with people, you need to be intentional about it. You'll find, I will use myself as a case study. When I left school way back, I wanted to go into HR. And what I did was to look for people that have gone into HR ahead of me from my school that I know. So you need to have mentors, career mentors in your field. Like make a mentor, let them be a mentor, have their number, not just LinkedIn connection. Have their number. Mean them that you like what they do, you like this, you like to, you know, there should be a way to connect with them. Go for physical networking events, right? You meet people, all these products, you know what I'm saying, tech startup, all those things. You meet product managers, you meet founders there. Then talk with them. And some of them might even be looking for product manager to help them do something. And that's how you can maybe start something, do something, be a founding member. So be intentional about networking, not just like you said, connect on LinkedIn, join the community required. Be interested about identifying people, identify about 4 or 5 people in your field and approach them, be interested in what they are doing. If they are doing training or seminar, support them, join there, root for them, comment on what they are saying on LinkedIn and everything. Because you are being intentional about that relationship. You don't just want to grab and run. You want to be involved in what they do. And from there, you have friendship and more than just what a really career relationship. So you just take intentionality. That's it.
Thank you very much. We would only be able to take one more question because the session is supposed to end by 8 o'clock. So Onyekosola's hand is up, so you can go ahead and ask your question, Onyekosola. Okay, Onyekasola is not speaking. So let me read the question from someone that knows you here.
I would have loved to
before I-
hear because I've been hearing a guy speaking since. Let me know that.
Yeah. Okay, then the
Well-
basis for you say that will be the lady. That will be that will you can go ahead
But
and ask the
gender
question.
balance.
Yeah. Adobe is not on YouTube. But
Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. Hi. Good evening.
Please can
Okay.
I can
So
Can I go ahead?
Jesus. Okay.
Adobe,
Hello?
please go on. You can come back to you. We were calling you
All
earlier.
right.
Can I go ahead?
Adobe, please go on.
Okay. I'm a product manager, right? But I've realized that sometimes, and I'm entry level product manager. I realized that sometimes, if you're looking for like job opportunities, like if you're on
Hello,
like
can you hear me?
job, all those jobs posted, searching sites, and all of that. I've told this to someone. You see more roles for project managers other than product managers. Do you
Yeah.
understand? Yes, a lot of, I don't know. I've actually taken account of that. And I even told my fellow PMs, do you understand? In the community. So I'm like, is it that people actually seek for more project managers than product managers? Others, some companies don't know that there's a clear difference between the two. Owing to that, I was saying that maybe I'll go for the professional courses just so I'll also skill up so that I can just fit into anyone. If they say product, I'll bring my product. If they say project, I could also show like a certification that shows that I'm actually a project manager. So, Olamide, what do you think? What do you advise that? Or I do,
Wow.
or you do?
Hmm. Eh, I wanted to quote the scripture now. I have to hold myself. You don't have to be double-minded. because the danger is that you can be easily swayed away from your career choice. Do you know that in the HR field, for instance, in HR, there's a lot of career path in human resource. And when I left, I studied human resource. I studied personal management, HR in school. And so when I left school, I was job hunting and I was trying many things. You know, I would go for any interview, either admin officer, sales, I was just going. And they keep rejecting me. There was even one I went to. The person that interviewed me was just looking at my CV. He said, "What can you say?" I went for marketing, whatever. He said, "Why are you here?" Imagine somebody asking, "Why are you here? What do you come and do here? What can you do?" I want get out. So I was not like, God, what is going on? What will I do? So I went to meet a mentor, and it was like, my CV needs to look like what I'm looking for. So what do I really want to do? I said HR. So the first HR job I got was recruitment officer. So because I got recruitment officer as my first job, every time I'm trying to look for a job after then, I don't get opportunity in other field, even though it's in HR. All the opportunity I'm getting is recruitment because they are using what we call my experience to consider me for a role. So what that means is that what you start with matters a lot. If you delve into anything outside product, you might find it difficult to come back into product because in this industry, we hire with track record. If I want to hire a product manager now, I will not going to be looking for project manager or marketing officer. I'll be looking for someone that product manager experience. You see it now. So it has to be track record because what you start with is what you will build upon. Okay, you might not have the liberty to start trying many things. Say, let me do project manager because that is the job I'm saying. No. If you enter project management, you might have to do project management for a long time. And why it look like there's not a lot of product manager role, especially in Nigeria, is because you ask yourself, if you look at our industry, how many of our companies are product-based companies? Are you with me? How many of them are product-based company? It is when we have an emergence of more product-based company, there will be a need for more product managers. So you don't give up, you don't swerve. If that is what you know you want to do, keep at it. When you get the breakthrough, that's all you need. You just have one job, first job. That is just what you need. Because after you got the first experience, 2 years in a company, every other job you get, you might not apply for a job again till you retire. You might not apply for it because every other job, they'll be coming for you. So where the work is getting in. The first job. By the time Toby will leave Moniepoint now, it sure me say the job will go come in. Like, they go come meet and say, Baba, we see what you have been Moniepoint. I've worked with company in Canada, I've worked with company in the US, I've worked with company in Netherlands. All these jobs, many of them are approaching me, okay, come and work for us. They see it like that. So it's the first one that is always a problem. Getting, if that is what you want to do with your career, that's where you see yourself. Because and product manager are hot cake outside Nigeria as well. I know a lot of people that have moved outside Nigeria as a product manager, senior PM, doing amazingly well. So that is it. So don't be discouraged and don't lose hope. Keep at it.
Thank you,
Thank
Lamiko.
you.
Yeah, well,
There is a yes or no question here, right? Concerning the women in tech intern role that opened last year.
okay.
She's saying the assessment was very, very technical. And the question is, did people actually pass it considering how technical it is? Did people actually pass that stuff? So
Yeah, women in tech, we had about, if I'm not mistaken, maybe over 5,000 applications. Can you imagine? We want just, I think, 10 or 15 people across different fields altogether, 5,000 people. Can you imagine how crazy that could be, or what the market is saying, and what the job, hunting space is talking about today? And we're having graduates coming out every year. So that is why anything you want to pursue now, it should not be something that is limited to Nigeria. Something that will give you global, something that any company anywhere can be interested in you, right? That you can do outside Nigeria and you still be valuable.
yeah.
Because if you
On
need to, you have a
on
lot
the
of people.
subject of internship, right? how do I get in Moniepoint as a PM intern?
We don't have PM intern at the moment, but when we have women in tech, yes, it's an opportunity. And women in tech will still open again. We've done a hackathon this year. We've opened a hackathon recently for those that are in software engineering. And we are going to start women in tech to before mid-year. So that will be an opportunity. But technically, we don't do internship and all that. So the way we did it, at some point, do you know that after we have people that pass the assessment, we still use people with first class to do elimination because we just have to eliminate people at some point. We cannot hire you applicants.
Yeah.
So that's it. At the end of the day, we have people that does the interview and they came in. Yeah, we celebrated them. You can go to our LinkedIn or YouTube. You see them.
Yeah, man. With that, we're going to close into this session. We're also going to be posting the video of this session on YouTube. So if you would like access to the recording, you can go there to access it. If there's anything that I take away from the session today, it is the fact that you need to make sure you're 0 to 1 p.m. That is, you can do things and not just do things. You can explain what it is you've done in an analytical way, in a way that explains how you carry stakeholders along, and in a way that explains why you did what you did. Very, very important. So that when Olalekan calls you on a recruitment call and it goes, okay, so you said you guys built so and so in Q1. Why did you do it? You will start stuttering. You won't say because you've attended this call, then give you the job. It's meant to be a bye-bye, and you don't want it to be a bye-bye, right? So you can listen to the recording again to make sure that you are well prepared for whenever you are going to be able to speak to Olalekan. Yeah. For people that have questions concerning MP recruitment, currently it is senior focused, and that would mean product managers with over 6-8 years of experience, like you mentioned earlier. Thank you very much for coming to share with us today, Olalekan, and we're hoping that next time you reach out, we would be able to get you on board. Thank you all for coming, and
Yeah.
Bye, guys. For anyone that is yet to join the community, you can use the link in the chat box to access the community. Enjoy the rest of your evening.